This is Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh, a mass of humanity, the fragile home of a persecuted minority, Rohingya people, mainly Muslims from Rakhine State in Myanmar. Fleeing an escalating civil war there.
Hello, how are you?
Rahmat has just escaped. He says he was forced to fight for the Myanmar military, the same army accused of a genocide against his people back in 2017.
It was heartbreaking to fight for those who had massacred our people. We want peace in Rakhine. We do not want to fight their enemies. We just want peace.
The military is losing ground in Myanmar. The Arakan Army, or AA, is an ethnic armed group from Rakhine on the verge of taking full control of the state. Rahmat's unit surrendered to them in this battle in December. The AA filmed it. The men taken as prisoners of war. Rahmat alleges they beat him and slashed his ear, but he managed to get out.
They cut it with a knife. There is a deep scar that is slowly healing. They tied my hands behind my back with rope. First, they blindfolded me, then they cut me.
The AA told Sky News Rahmat's injury was unlikely to have been carried out by their soldiers and that they treat prisoners of war according to international law. But what we do know for certain is civilians are getting caught in the crossfire, and some seemingly targeted. Sephora is riddled with bullet wounds. Her son, Ahmed, has just had his foot blown off. Last week, they fled across the border.
The pain is so severe. I can't sit or stand properly. I can walk a little, but my knees hurt a lot.
It was an attack on her family home in the middle of the night.
They entered our house and shot all my family members. My husband and mother-in-law were killed on spot.
After years of oppression, yet again, there's been an exodus of Rohingya, a minority on the move, caught between two warring sides.
Everyone we've spoken to crossed into Bangladesh here in Teknaf by taking a boat about 30 minutes across the Naf River from Myanmar. Now, late last year when the fighting was raging, you could hear the battles from this beach. Border and Coast Guard have upped their patrols, but still, at night, many take the risk.
But they're not safe in the camps either. Rohingya militant groups are on the rise here. They're determined to crush the AA. So much so, they're pushing their own people back to Myanmar to fight for the military they once fled. Jarker says he was abducted at gunpoint.
Many of our Rohingya boys who were taken by force from the camps were killed in battle. So many people lost their lives.
How did it feel being forced to fight for a regime accused of a genocide against your people?
It was heartbreaking. They targeted children from poor families. The children of wealthy families avoided it by paying money.
The situation here in Cox's is desperate. People are disillusioned by poverty, violence, and the plight of their own people. Some are being forced to fight, but others are going willingly, claiming they need to battle for their own survival. It's estimated there could be between 3,000 and 5,000 fighters who have joined armed groups from here. An already insecure place does feel a lot more precarious.
Both the military and the Arakan Army are accused of committing atrocities against Rohingya Muslims. These men insist they won't take up arms for either side, but they will for their own cause.
We want to fight for our rights because we have been demanding justice for a long time. But the situation has become unbearable. That is why we are fighting. Those who fight for Rohingya rights should not be called terrorists. They are standing for justice.
These shores are shaped by despair. The military denies forcing Rohingya back to the battlefield, but the camps tell a different story, one of surging violence and vulnerability. Cordelia Lynch, Sky News, Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh.